As in the last class, a few students have come and we have covered a important topic. So I will explain it in nutshell. Okay. So in last class, you have already covered the atomic packing factor for the structure simple cubic and face centered cubic unit cell. As shown in the slide, you have covered the FCC structure as well as body structure, body centered cubic unit cell. Okay. So today we will discuss about the hexagonal closed packing cubic unit cell. Okay, as the name suggests, what is the hexagon? Hexagon basically is the regular polygon having 6 sides. Okay, so this is the base of a hexagon having atom at each corner and one is at the center of the hexagon. Okay, this is the base of a hexagon. Similarly, upper base for the hexagon is already existing, as we can see in the first diagram. This one. Okay, each corner have one atom and one atom is at the center of the hexagon. Similarly, for the upper base there are 6 atoms at each corner and one is at the center, and 3 atoms also are occupied within the unit cell also. Within the unit cell also, and the metals like zinc, magnesium and cadmium have this kind of structure, hexagon closed packed structure. Okay, so for finding out the atomic packing factor, as we already calculated for the simple cubic as well as for the FCC and BCC, also we have to calculate the APF for the hexagonal closed packed structure. APF. What do you mean by APF? Atomic packing factor. Okay, how much volume is occupied by the atom in a particular unit cell and how much is weights. So we know that the formula for atomic packing factor is what? It is the number of atoms multiplied by the volume of an atom and divided by the volume of the unit cell, already covered in the last class. Okay, so the basic problem for calculating APF for the HCP structure, how can we calculate the number of atoms? As we already discussed in last class, is that the number of atoms in body center is how much? 2. Okay, number of atoms in a simple cubic is 1, and number of atoms in FCC is 4. Okay, now in the number of atoms in the hexagon closed packing is existing. As you see that there are 6 atoms at each corner. Okay, and these 6 atoms are shared by 6 unit cells. So how much part of these atoms is shared by only this base is equal to 1 by 6, because one atom is shared by 6 and the portion of atom shared by only this unit cell is 1 by 6. So that is equal to 1 by 6 into 6 plus this centralized atom which are existing at the center of the lower base is shared by 2 unit cells. First one is this as well, and second one is the lower to this unit cell. Okay, so only the half portion is shared by this unit cell. Okay, only the half portion. Plus into 1 you may write or no as well you wish. Plus, as in the three-dimensional diagram, I calculated for this lower base only till now. Okay. As we move further in the vertical direction, we found that there are 3 atoms which are totally occupied by this unit cell. These are not shared by to another unit cell. These are totally occupied in this whole unit cell, in single unit cell. So we have to these 3 also. Plus again for the upper base, the same procedure is proceed. Okay, that is equal to 1 by 6 into 6 plus 1 by 2 into 1. This is a very important step to calculate the number of atoms. If you have any kind of doubt, should I repeat or go ahead? Should I repeat?
No, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. For calculating the atomic packing factor, we should know the number of atoms that present in this one unit cell of the HCP structure. Okay, and we know that each atom are shared by neighborhood unit cell. Okay, as you can see that these are the atoms, and each atom are shared by different points of the hexagonal unit cell. Okay, so these 6 atoms that existing at the corner of the unit cell are also shared by its neighbor. Yes or no? That's why intermolecular forces are existing. That's why metallic bonding is existing. So this single atom is shared by 6 unit cells. One is in direction, one is itself, one is lower, one is upper, and on the both opposite and the front side. So total 6 unit cells share this single element. Okay. So the amount of atom that is occupied by single unit cell is equal to how much? 1 by 6. 1 by 6. So we have to multiply 6 atom to the 1 by 6 for calculating for a unit cell. And this centralized atom is shared by 2 unit cells. One is for itself only, and one that existing at lower this, at the lower this unit cell. So this half atom is shared by single unit. Then further in the vertical direction we found that there are 3 atoms. Yes or no? Okay, and these are not shared by another unit cell. These are not shared. Okay, the owner of these atoms of is only this unit cell. It is not shared by to another. And for the upper base, the same procedure for the as we calculated for the lower base. So the total number of atoms is equal to how much? Is equal to how much? कितना हुआ? 6 is equal to 6. So we calculated one parameter. Okay. Now volume of one atom is equal to how much? 4 by 3 pi r cube, because in this study we consider the atom as a solid sphere as shown in the lower diagram. Okay. So now we have to calculate only the volume of unit cell. Volume of unit cell. Now for a simple cubic, for face center or body center, the unit cell volume of unit cell is equal to how much? Simple A cube. But we cannot for equate this volume of unit cell equal to this. Yes or no? Although this length is also A, but the volume of the hexagonal is not equal to the A cube. Okay? We know that from the previous mathematics. So how can we calculate the volume of unit cell? And the whole derivation is come in the RTO exam directly. Find out the atomic packing factor for the hexagonal closed packed structure. Okay. So this derivation is very much important from the point of view RTO exam. So volume of unit cell, we in simple words we can say that the volume of unit cell is the amount of liquid that can be poured in the unit cell. Okay. Like if you bought some cold drink from the market, what do we say? We have to say that please give me 2 liters of some soft drinks. Okay, 1 liter water bottle. So in the volume we can measure the, in terms of liter, we can measure the volume. Okay, the amount of liquid that can be poured in that kind of bottles or hexagonal closed packed. Yes or no? So in simple words, the formula of a volume for any kind of structure, is equal to what? It may be equal to area of base multiplied by the height. Yes or no? For any kind of structure, you may proceed for the find out the volume of this cube depending on this also. Okay, as the area of this is a square and height is also a, then we will find out the same a cube if we proceed with that of this one. So How can we calculate the area of base? Now have a look on this shape, hexagonal shape. If we extend a line from this atom to this atom, okay, as I done in the on the whiteboard, that we can divide this whole hexagonal into 6 equilateral triangles. Yes or no? We can divide this hexagonal into 6 equilateral triangles. Now what is equilateral triangle? Equi means equal and lateral means side. Okay, means the sides of each triangle is equal to A. Yes or no? And the number of triangles is equal to how much? 6. So in simple words we can say that the area of the base is equal to 6 times the area of one triangle. Yes or no? Okay. And the area of triangle is equal to how much? Root 3 by 4 A square, where A is the side of triangle. And let us say height of this unit cell is C. Okay, height of this unit cell is C. Then what we obtain that the volume of unit cell is equal to how much? Volume of unit cell is equal to 3 by 2 root 3 A square multiplied by C. Now atomic packing factor is equal to number of atoms 6. Good. 6 into 4 by 3 pi r cube divided by 3 by 2 root 3 multiplied by A square multiplied by C. From the X-ray diffraction. Okay, if you want to study some kind of solid and properly the internal structure of the solid, what will we do? We will do the study based upon the X-ray diffraction. Based upon the X-ray diffraction, basically we will put a solid between the X-rays and the output screen, and the internal structure will be get on the screen. Like if someone have accident and some bone or fracture from the internally, and how can we doctor say that these are the cracks on the bones? With the help of some X-rays. Like on that way, X-ray can be done on a solid, and the details of internal structure can be obtained. Okay, with the help of X-ray diffraction, we know that the ratio of C by A is equal to how much? 1.633. This is a standardized result, can be grabbed from a standardized book or reference book. Okay, now there are 3 unknown, and the relation between C and A is known. C is equal to 1.633 times of A. Now we have to find out the relation between A and R. A and R. So that we can replace A to the R or R to the A as you like. Okay. So this is a actual hexagonal closed packed structure, and as we see that these atoms are touching to each other. Okay, and the A is the distance between these centers, between the center of these two atoms. Okay, so can we say that A is equal to 2R? Yes or no? So simply put, A is equal to 2R here into 5 into R cube divided by 3 by 2 root 3 multiplied by A is equal to 2R. So simply we can say that 4R square multiply C is equal to how much? 1.633. A is equal to how much again? Into 2R. So R square into R is equal to become R cube. So we can cancel out it. Okay. Now our calculation is give you only a single numerical value result. It is not having any kind of constant A, C or R. What is the value of this? 0.74, or you can say that 74%. Okay. So depending upon this 74% value, we can say that the hexagonal closed packed structure is highly dense structure. and 74% are occupied by the atoms itself. Okay, now the voids that are present in the hexagonal closed pack structure is only of 26%. Only 26%. That's why the density, weight, and other kind of physical properties that are that of the metals like zinc, magnesium, and cadmium have higher than as compared to the BCC structure and the equivalent to FCC structure. Also, FCC structure have the atomic packing factor that is equal to 0.74. Okay, and this is the most important derivation and already came into the exam in many times. Okay, from RTO exam is very important, and from the competitive exam also you have to know this value 74%. Directly one marks question can come the what is the atomic packing factor for HCP structure 74%. Okay, do you have any kind of doubts? Okay, so our next topic is the Miller indices. So to explain the Miller indices, I have to show some videos for you that you can easily or clearly understand that what is going on the crystalline structure of a material. Okay, just see the video. These are the crystalline structure of a metal or a solid. Okay, as you can see that these are in a regular pattern in all direction in X, Y, and Z. Okay, so from the scene itself we can say that this kind of solid is a crystalline solid, and note the amorphous solid. Okay, the amorphous solid have the networking, cross networking structure. Okay, these are not the regular in X direction, Y direction, and Z direction. So what had Miller indices done during his research, that he trying to find out the position of each atom from a reference point, so that we can easily explain the location of an atom from a reference point, that atom is existing at that place, that atom is existing at that place at a particular distance from the origin. Okay, this has the Miller indices done in his research at the time of 1842. Okay, at the time of 1842. Now imagine yourself what kind of technology he had at that time. Okay, at the time of 1842, he person did something amazing. He done amazing work. क्यों? क्योंकि उसके पास अपने पास से डाइवर्ट होने के लिए ना स्मार्टफोन थे, ना यूट्यूब थे, ना कुछ और था। क्योंकि उसका टोटली फोकस अपने काम पर था। Okay, so what the Miller indices does, he had taken a unit cell and described this point as a origin, and certain assumption is there that the axis that comes from the board is the x-axis, and the axis that is lies within the board is the y-axis, and in the vertical direction there is z-axis. Okay, so this is our reference point. And he wants to know that the position of this based upon this. Okay, so for a unit cell, okay, he considers that the length of this is 1 unit. Now, then based upon this assumption, the indices means coordinates for this atom is how much? In x direction we move, no? That becomes 0, in y direction 1 unit, and in z direction again 0. Okay, so basically it is a symbolized the location of an atom. Location of an atom in a crystalline structure. For this atom, we have to move 1 unit in x direction, 1 unit in y direction, and 1 unit in z direction. Okay? Suppose we have to know the value of these atoms, the location of these atoms. Okay? Then we have to move x direction in the opposite direction. In the opposite direction. For representing the opposite direction, just simply put a bar on the value of 1. Y-axis negative 1 bar, and z is in the positive direction. Okay, this is the steps we have that we have to follow for picturization and location of an atom. This is a crystal structure. Okay, the purple color shows the atoms, and the green, these are just the voids, or you can say that the impurities. Okay. These are the lattice points. Yes or no? Lattice point are what? That are the atoms. Okay. Now, as we know that this is a line one dimensional, and we have to move to cover this area in two dimensional, and plane is a two dimensional. So this face, if we consider this is a unit cell, then it is a face, and if you assume that this is a whole lattice, okay, then it becomes a plane. Are you getting my point? If we consider this as a unit cell, this is a face of the unit cell, as we study in the face-centered cubic unit cell, and if we assume that this is the whole crystalline structure, then it becomes a plane. Okay? This is the another one plane. So now these axes are generated. We have to note that the location of this plane, and this plane having many atoms on it, and we want to know that what are the intercept of this plane on x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Okay. So if we to find the intercept value, what we have to do that if we consider this is origin and we have to move in the old direction, I have to cover in the x direction up to unit A. But this length is not specified. So we consider this plane is up to the infinite limit. That can be calculated with the help of diffraction method, but it is not necessary to calculate that, because we only want to consider the position of this. So the intercept value, do you know what the meaning of intercept? Means where this plane have cut the x-axis, where y-axis, and where z-axis. Okay. So this is a plane which is parallel to y-axis, and parallel to z-axis also, and intercept the x-axis only. Okay. So there is no intercept between y and z. So simply we can put the value of y is infinity and z is infinity. There is no intersection exist. Okay. Then so easily we can locate the plane, but we have to now to calculate the value of our coordinates. So simply coordinates cannot be fraction. If you have any kind of fraction, then we have to convert into it a integer, and also it cannot be a non-defined term. Undefined term means 0 by 0, 1 by infinity, infinity by infinity. Okay, these are the undefined terms in mathematics. Yes or no? So if we left out our solution up to these marks, this is the invalid solution. This is the invalid solution, and nobody can give his judgment to tell the location of a plane depending upon infinity and infinity. Yes or no? So to give accurate result, we just simply divide the x, y, z to the intercept value. To the intercept value. So 1 by 1, 1 by infinity, 1 by infinity. Just divide the intercept value. 1 by infinity is become how much? ZdR. ZdR. 1, 0, 0. This is actually the location of a plane. Okay? And similarly, in some cases, these y and z axes are equal to suppose 2 by 3 and 3 by 2. It may be a possibility that plane can intersect y at the value of 2 by 3 and get z axis at 3 by 2. Now, also in this case, we cannot left out our solution up to this point. We have to convert this fraction value into a particular integral. And you already know how to convert this fraction into integer, that we have to multiply by the LCM. Okay, LCM, lowest common multiple, and lowest common multiple is equal to 6. Okay, then multiply by 6, 6, 4 and 9. This is our answer. This is the location of a plane that existing if the plane intersect the axis of the reference point is at x is equal to 1, y equal to 2 by 3 and z equal to 3 by 2. Okay? Have you got it? So it may be less chance, but question can come based upon the value of draw the Miller indices plane which intersect the x-axis at 1, y-axis at 2 by 3 and z-axis at 3 by 2. So simply put the multiply the LCM to the whole and you will get the particular integral and draw a plane on that axis at x equal to 6, y equal to 4 and z is equal to 9. Understood? So this is the second example, same process. Okay, then length of this from the origin is become 2a only. Okay, variation can be existed. Now, further if you want to know the value of this a means the distance between two Miller plane. Okay, the formula for this is equal to a divided by x square plus k square plus l square, where x, k and l is what? It is the intercepts of the plane at x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and a is the unit length of the cell. A is the unit length of the cell. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So simply we can calculate it with the help of intercept value, which is HKL, and the intermolecular distance value A or the unit length A. That what is the distance between two intermolecular plane in all direction, in x-axis, in y-axis, and in z-axis. Okay. So as we shown in the previous video, this is the crystalline structure of a solid. Then first of all we have to find out this what kind of structure it has. It may be BCC, it may be FCC, or it may be HCC. Okay, so for that A is always existing and R is always existing. Okay, and we choose two planes. This plane is one plane, as I shown. This is the one plane. Okay, and further there are second plane also exist, and we know the value of A and the value of this intersection to the x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So the distance between two planes can be calculated with the help of given formula, A divided by h square plus k square plus l square. Okay. Now, why we have to study these all kind of complicated things? Any students?
For taking the effect of the material. For taking the effect of material by
Yes. Why?
कोई भी इंजीनियरिंग पर्पस को कंप्लीट करने के लिए, कोई भी इंडस्ट्रियल पर्पस को कंप्लीट करने के लिए हमें अपनी बॉडी की स्ट्रेंथ और उसकी सॉलिड स्टेट पता होनी चाहिए, इसलिए हम ये सब चीज़ें पढ़ते हैं, फिर सब चीज़ें
Now listen to me. Being a mechanical engineer, you have to know at least three things. First one is the material. Second one is the processing method, means production, and third one is the design. So we have basic knowledge of materials. Okay, with the help of internal structure. So that what kind of production process can be carried out on these materials is can be find out with the help of these intermolecular distances, with the help of atomic packing factor, that the structure having FCC have the ductile property in nature. Having ductile property in nature. So material that have FCC structure can be withstand for a long period of time for a particular mechanical application, as compared to the material that have BCC structure, because BCC structure have brittleness in its nature. Brittleness in its nature, as I already gave you an example of Titanic. Titanic. Okay, why Titanic has sunk into the sea or ocean? Because the Titanic is made up from the steel, and at lower temperature steel is become a brittle material, and when it hit the iceberg it cracks or produces, and steel is become a brittle material, so it break down due to its weight itself, and the ship is broken into two pieces. Okay, so for any kind of engineering purpose we have to know the intermolecular structure of the material. What kind of interstructure it have, BCC, FCC, and depending upon that we have to know the mechanical properties of the material. Yes or no? That are studied in the lab. So if we know the value of the distance between two planes, we can easily find out that the metal forming of this material is carried out smoothly, or it required a lot of processes. Okay, if it is too large, then it becomes a ductile nature, and the planes are slip out along, above each other, and the large amount of deformation is carried out before fracture into two pieces. If A is small, then what happens? There is no space to deform the material in its own volume, and it easily breaks down into two pieces. It has no ductile property, it become a brittle material. Okay, so from our conclusion we can say that metals like gold, Au, aluminium, silver, and many more, which are FCC structure, are ductile in nature. And material having like iron. Okay, this type of material having BCC structure, and these are brittle in nature. It cannot be a tensile load up to a long period of time. It break down into BC. Okay, and many more examples are existing in our daily routine life. We are all surrounded by the metals. Okay, so for mechanical engineer, thoroughly knowledge of the material, internal structure of the material is have to be required. Do you have any kind of question regarding atomic packing factor? Why we study atomic packing factor? why we study BCC, FCC and HCP, and why you have to study the Miller indices. Any count?
Some Miller indices.
First of all, the Miller is a person. Firstly, who discovered this kind of things. Okay, Miller and BCC also is a assistant, but his name is not so much popular. So in Miller gives the value of indices. So first of all, you have to know the actual meaning of indices. Indices is not a English word. Okay. So indices basically gives you the information about coordinate system. In simple language, we can say that this is a coordinate system. Okay. And the previous knowledge of mathematics, we have known that what are the coordinates. Yes or no? Simply to locate any geometric entity, we have to know the coordinates of that. Yes or no? So, to describe the atoms in terms of mathematics, in a whole crystalline structure, we should know the value of the coordinates of the center of the atoms from a given reference point. Okay? So, how to calculate that indices of coordinates? Miller gives his 3 to 4 step methodology, so that we can follow that methodology and calculate the value of indices or coordinates of an atom. Okay? So, for finding out these atoms, suppose. Okay, and the location of combination of atom become a atomic plane. What is this? This little brown structure is what? Two-dimensional thing. It is a atomic plane. If we consider this as a whole crystalline structure, and if we consider this a unit cell only, then it becomes a face of the unit cell. Okay? A lot of atoms are actually existing in this plane, but it is not seen for the simplicity that you can understand that the logic behind the Miller indices calculation. Okay? Atoms are actually existing on this plane also. Okay? So, to find out the coordinates of these indices, we have to know that the value of the intersection of this plane at x-axis, y-axis and z-axis with respect to this origin. Okay? You can easily visualize that this plane is parallel to the y and z plane. From picture itself, you can easily visualize that these and these planes are parallel to y and z plane. Yes or no? These areas represent the yz plane, and this is parallel to each other. Okay? Now, can you say that the two parallel lines are intersecting to each other? No? Okay. So, simple words, this plane is not intersecting y and z. So, the intersection value is 0, 0. That is k and l. H, K, L, these are the simply notation. Okay? There is not so much any kind of logic behind this. These are simply notation, and these are the universally adapted. You can place ABC also. Okay, but these are universally adapted and literature are found in this form actually. Okay, so this is a conventional things that put the value of put the intercept as the HKL, but it is not the universal truth. The literature is found in this form actually. So this plane is parallel to yz plane, the value of k and l is become 0, and this plane is having a distance a from the reference point. A क्या था हमारा? Center distance between one atom and two atom. Okay, so that is equal to 1 unit. So the value of h is equal to 1. Okay, and this is the Miller indices 100. If we place a bracket here, that is the Miller indices notation of this plane. Okay. Further, there is second plane, and if we find out the value of this intermolecular distance, then it becomes equal to a divided by square root of h square plus k square plus l square. This formula can be carried out with the help of sine function. If we apply sine function to the X-ray diffraction output, obtain this one. Okay, this is out of our slides, so we are not going to deep. How can we calculate this? So, as we say that this is a crystalline structure. This is the crystalline structure we have taken at the beginning of lecture. So this A and this A is equal. If it become amorphous or any kind of plastics or polymers, thermoset, then these are not the equal values. Because this is crystalline structure, so these A are equal, but it's not inversely true. Okay, it's hold the relation for only and only crystalline structure. Okay, I hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Further, if you have any kind of doubt, please ask. No? And what are the application of it? First application is just to denote the location of an atomic plane or atoms. Or second is how can we calculate the distance between two atomic planes. Okay? And from the first week, these two topics, that atomic packing factor for the hexagon packing structure and the how can we find out the Miller indices or denotation of the Miller indices coordinates, and the intermolecular distance between two atomic planes is very much important from the university exam point of view. Okay? And for the competitive or one day exam, you have to know the values of, just you have to type some names of metal, like you can easily remember this table. Okay, at least remember for those metals who are coming in front of us in our daily life, like in aluminium. What kind of structure it have? FCC. And we know that being a mechanical engineer, this is a ductile material up to some limit. Yes or no? Like in the iron, it is a BCC structure. What is alpha? We will study in the next unit, second unit, ferrite iron. Okay, BCC structure, and we know that iron is a brittle material. Like nickel, silver having FCC structure, zinc having HCP structure, and these are the atomic radius, value of R. Value of R. And from this R, we can easily calculate the value of A. Value of A, that is equal to 2R. Simply, and from that itself we can calculate the value of atomic packing factor. Okay? Now, our discussion is going on thoroughly to the centralized of these two unit cells. First one is body center, second one is FCC. Okay, and one derivation for the closed packed hexagonal structure. Okay, but as you see that these unit cells have three parameters in the length, width and height, x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Suppose ABC. Suppose ABC and three angles. These angles. Yes or no? The angle between x-axis and y-axis is alpha. Angle between y and z is beta. Angle between z-axis and x-axis is gamma. Okay, so we have six parameters A, B, C, and alpha, beta, and gamma. So maybe it is a possibility that question can come that explain 14 Bradley's lattice cell. Maybe it have less possibility, but being a student of mechanical, you should know. Okay, so a unit cell can be classified with the help of ABC as well as value of alpha, beta and gamma, such that if A is equal to B is equal to C, if A is equal to B is equal to C and alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma, then what kind of unit cell is become? Cubic. Simple cubic unit cell. So based upon these values, the unit cell can be classified into 40 unit cells, like simple unit cell, face center, body center. These are studies in details in our syllabus. Okay, but these are not our concern. The last one. Okay, but you should know at least just the names of that, introduction of that. Like in this simple tetragonal structure, what do we notice? Value of A and C are equal, but B is longer than A and B. A and C. Yes or no?
Yes.
So it may be existing in some metals, but this kind of metal have not too much application in our engineering purpose, so we are not studying in detail this kind of structure. Okay, but it may be a possibility that this kind of structure may exist. Similarly, in this structure, simple tetragonal, again if the atom is lying in the board centralized, centered of the body, it becomes body central tetragonal. This is hexagonal case. Okay, in simply orthorhombic, what happened? The value of A and C are equal, and the value of two angles are equal, and this angle is much larger than these two angles. Okay, means A and C are equal, but not equal to B, and value of alpha and gamma is beta is equal, but not equal to gamma. Easily visualized with the help of diagram. Okay, this is a simple orthorhombic. Again, atom is existing at the center of the unit cell body centered orthorhombic. अब ये देखो सिर्फ atoms lies at the lower base and the upper base. It may be a possibility, like in hexagonal structure. Okay, face centered orthorhombic, and this is a monoclinic. A is not equal to B, B is not equal to C, and alpha is not equal to beta, beta is not equal to gamma, gamma is not equal to alpha. It may be possibility that this kind of unit cell also existing in some kind of materials. Okay? You do not require having too much detailed knowledge of this kind of structure, but you have to know the thoroughly knowledge of FCC, simple cubic, body center, that what is the coordination number for simple cubic, for FCC, for BCC, what is the atomic packing factor for simple cube, for FCC, BCC and hexagonal. Okay, general material have what kind of structure? FCC like aluminium, BCC like iron, BCC like cobalt, hexagonal like in zinc and cadmium. Okay, you should know these kind of things. Okay, so today's discussion is over. If you have any kind of doubt, you may ask. Or any kind of discussion you want to know. Okay then, thank you. But remember these two, atomic packing factor for hexagonal as well as military is much more important for the university exam. Okay? Thank you.